WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from the Spirit of Scotland. Now all three of these bottles are from Gordon MacPhail, and they are part of 6 casks that Kirsch Import brought over to Germany. I'm not sure if they brought every single bottle of every single one of these 6 casks over, but I'd like to take a look at these with you together. This is the Aberfeldy. This is the oldest one in this range. The Spirit of Scotland, at least according to Andre Haberecht by Whiskey Tales, he said this is basically from Gordon MacPhail, the signatory vintage 100 proof series. So they have okay age statements, but this time they have cask strength. This is 61.1% ABV. This was a first fill sherry Hogshead, number 7791, and this actually has 565 bottles because it was a butt. First fill sherry butt. Recommended retail price €69.90. Single cask strength, 14-year-old Aberfeldy. Alright, what I did not buy, and I'm a little sad, I should have bought it, they had an Alte Bein. This was only a 9-year-old. That's the main reason I didn't buy it. And the second reason I didn't buy it, it was a refill bourbon barrel. Now afterwards, it's like, oh, Jason, that would have been fantastic. €51 is the recommended retail price. 64.8% ABV. Wow. So 234 bottles of that. What I did buy is the Glen Moray. I do like me some good Glen Moray. This was distilled 2013, 2026. It was bottled, 12 years of age, a first fill sherry Hogshead, 2848 with 60.4% ABV. We have a total of 306 bottles. Oh, by the way, I can actually mention here that the Aberfeldy has the whiskey base number 299262, and the Glen Moray has one of the very first bottles I've ever mentioned online with a 300,000 mark at whiskey base. So 300,089. The Glen Grant is 300090. So, all right, so let's go over to the Glen Grant. What they did is they actually brought over a total of 3 different single barrels of Glen Grant. All of them were first fill sherry hogsheads. 2 of them were 10 years old, and there was 1 that was 12. I bought the 12-year-old. The 10-year-olds were €55. This was €65. Is it really worth €10 more for the extra 2 years? I'm not really sure there, but that's what they did. So Glen Grant is a distillery. Independently bottled, often very, very, very good. The core range products, you can basically forget them in my opinion. The core range products of Glen Moray, okay. You can drink them, they're not great. A lot of times supermarket, good value for money. Aberfeldy, I don't see very many bottles of Aberfeldy ever independently bottled. Gordon MacPhail did it. That's fantastic. So we have here €70, we have €65, and we have €65. Basically the prices. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here with the Glen Grant, just like in my German video. On the nose, that's good stuff. Sherry, black tea, red currants, a little bit of milk chocolate. On the nose, the Glen Moray. There's something fishy going on here. Fishy's not the right word, but there's a little bit of a sauerkraut moment going on here. This nose is not perfect. This is not what I expect from a whiskey. There is some berries, but it's almost like it's starting to ferment in those berries. It's almost hit the tipping point. That's not my favorite aroma in the world. The Aberfeldy, I get a little bit of a milk chocolate as well. No, I get a dark chocolate. No, this is what I got. I got the dark chocolate here. I get the milk chocolate here. I have toasted marshmallows. red plums, and a little bit of cinnamon. On the nose, 1, 2, 3. This is not my product at all today. All right, so we're going to start off the lowest ABV with 58.9. Cheers. I took one sip of this in my German video. It's like, and I still think it's, There's a little bit of a mocha, dark chocolate. Some people might even say coffee note at the end. I hate coffee, but that's actually very, very nice. What I want to do, and I did not do this in my German video, is actually take a sip of water, leave a little bit of water in my mouth, take the sip of that, and see how it acts and reacts in my mouth by watering it down in my mouth. That is nice. I'm giving this a solid B. Wow, I really like that. That's a good value for money for 65 euros. B minus, C plus. All right, so it says here, tasting notes. Fragrant raisin aromas with ginger spice. Raisins, yes. Ginger spice, no. Red apples, yes, get those. Vibrant stewed fruit flavors with blackcurrant. I got that. Blackcurrant jam, even. And subtle coffee bean. See? Something like that. A spicy full finish with orange peel. Oh, I like this. Now, Andre Haberrecht on his video in German with the 10-year-old Glen Grant, his whiskey tail liquid, he said this was fantastic. Now, he picked out the casks back then. That's a little bit unfair there to say your own whiskey that you picked out is fantastic, but that is very, very good. If you can ever get your hands on some independently bottled cask strength Glen Grant, please do. If someone offers you a glass from a standard Glen Grant, whichever one that is, of course, say thank you and drink it, but don't expect the world. Where I do hope to have, and this is where I personally like and love Glen Moray, is then in cask strength. A hand fills at the distillery. Mwah! They were so good. That nose is a little funky though. Cheers. There's more bite. There's more alcohol. I'm too weak. It's too strong moment. There's a little bit of a fruitiness. A little bit of wood. It's just, there's just too much alcohol. I need to water this down a little bit. Cheers. Okay, much better. Here I get a little bit of plum. I get some milk chocolate, wood, cinnamon. Let's see what they wrote. Tasting notes. Seville orange zest aromas with toasted hazelnut. Okay, there's nuttiness. I forgot about that. And black currant. Smooth. Definitely not in my opinion. Sweet berry flavors combined with vanilla pod and morello cherries. Full and spicy finish with black pepper. I get the black pepper there. Now, this is my least favorite of the two here. So, I've tried this already. Least favorite of the three. The nose is the least favorite, and also the aromas are the least favorite. I had high hopes for the Glen Moray, but unfortunately I was disappointed. 306 bottles. I'm sure we're going to get rid of those fairly quickly in Germany. Alright, the Aberfeldy. I love me some Aberfeldy. 61.1% ABV. Real sherry butt, 14 years of age. 565 bottles here in total for Germany. 70 euros AB. Recommended retail price. Nice nose. This was better. Cheers. Also here, a little bit too much alcohol for me today. Might be just my daily conditioning. Green apples. A little bit of a currant moment as well. Toasted marshmallows and a tiny little bit of cinnamon. Wow. All right, let's use the water trick here as well. Flavors start really popping, coming out. That green apple's really there. A little bit of pear. The sherry. A little bit of candied orange zest. Orange marmalade. Nice. Let's read the tasting notes. It says here, rich fruitcake aroma and fudge with cinnamon. Oh, got the cinnamon right, I guess. Stewed plum with rich orange marmalade. Looky there. Cracked black pepper, a spicy finish with lingering red berries. Alright, so this is a B whiskey. This is a B minus whiskey, and this is a C plus whiskey. Value for money, I'm going to give this a B minus. I'm going to give this a B minus, C plus. I'm going to give this a C. We have the different independent bottlers that we love. Signature Vintage has their new, I'm going to call it budget whiskey cask strength version, 100 proof. I know it's 57.1% all the time, but it's close enough. We have Spirit of Scotland from Gordon MacPhail. Their budget cask strength single cask edition. Signature Vintage does batches. They do hundreds and if not thousands of bottles each time with each batch. They're at batch 77 at the moment, and that's without their exceptional casks. That just blows my mind how many batches they put out on the market in the last 2 years. Glen Grant, definitely the winner. Aberfeldy, still good. The Glen Moray, a little disappointing for those that like that little bit of that sauerkraut nose and a little bit more of that flavor here of the plum. If you want the coffee beans here, if you want here the orange marmalade. Each of these are definitely different. Each of these are very good. My question of the day is, what independent bottler should have their next budget whiskey series in cask strength? Gordon MacPhail, Signature Vintage. Who else do you want and expect to have their own budget? So between 8 and 14 years of age, cask strength. Does it have to be single barrel? No. Can it be batch strength? Yes. What do you want? What do you expect? Thank you very much for watching, liking, and subscribing to WhiskyJason. I have no idea if the Spirit of Scotland's ever going to make it over to the US. They are available in the UK. They are available over in mainland Europe. I'm not sure about Scotland, Canada, or any place else in the world. Thank you very much for subscribing if you're not, like if you're not, and see you real soon. WhiskyJason, all the best. Bye-bye.